Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2021 and welcome back to the RudeBoyz Top 10. I'm Sherm.
I'm Tom.
And it's January, first of the year of the top 10s, and it is Royal Rumble season. And we're going to talk about our top 10 Royal Rumble moments. We're going to go back and forth, ping pong this shit right on out, and
Ping pong.
get tossed off the top rope. Well, no, get tossed off. That's a good word.
Tossed over.
Yeah, that's what I said. So Tommy, hit me with one of our top 10 Royal Rumble moments.
Ending of 2005 match. This is where what was it? John Cena and Batista had, they both they throw each other out and they hit at the same time, and then
which shouldn't have happened. That was a mistake.
And
the accident.
Yeah, and then Vince comes running down. He slides into the ring. He's fully sitting there because he tore both his quads when he slid into the ring. Yes. Holy shit! And he's just sitting there wagging his finger,
he's yelling at the referees. Yeah. And then they order a restart. I thought it was a great ending. It was one of a happy accident. Apparently, word is backstage that Eric Bischoff and Teddy Long were the GMs of those Raw and SmackDown, respectfully. Right. They left early, so that's why Vince needed to. He's like, someone's got to go out there. So,
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And then they do this whole back and forth between Cena and Batista, and it's great because both men went on to main event their respective brands. So
yeah,
rumbles like that are cool. We're gonna talk.
That's like when your boss leaves early before the holidays, and everything just goes to shit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, where is he? Like, I don't know. He left. But we're gonna talk about endings in a little bit.
Holy shit!
The Royal Rumble's all big about Royal Rumble returns from injury, or maybe they came back from another company, or they just been gone for a little bit. But one of the returns we want to mention is going to be John Cena's return at Madison Square Garden in 2008. Came in at number 30. He was in the middle of a pectoral tear or something like that. He was going to be out for months and months and months. Comes back in I don't know, 3 weeks or some shit. I don't know. Something super Cena bullshit. And the MSG crowd, man, eats it up. You got that one dude. Everybody knows that one fan.
God, the one guy
freaking out.
Holy crap! Yeah,
his boy John Cena coming in. And it was a good stare down because I think that the final three, if I remember correctly, was Triple H, Batista, and Cena, and they're all doing their fucking hand motions and shit. And, it was good shit.
Yeah, such good shit.
What about another return, Tommy? Let's talk about another famous return guy.
Edge, man. Edge returned in 2020 and 2010.
Yes, both of them are great.
But yeah, and you want to talk about a guy that gets reactions. 2010, he returns from the career-ending injury.
Yep.
I believe he tore his Achilles heel.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's what he was out for. Him and Jericho were just picking up steam as a tag team, which I would have loved to have seen more of.
Sure.
But and then he just was firing on all cylinders, going after Jericho because Jericho was saying derogatory things about
Of
Edge.
course, yeah.
And then he returns at the 2021, and
huge.
Even though that's one of the most heartbreaking retirement.
Right. Tommy's using air quotes in case you guys
I forget. Yeah,
not a visual medium.
I know. I see you, but I know. Shut up. He says he's never wrestling again because his neck is all fucked, and he comes back and just such a amazing fucking crowd reaction.
Yeah.
So what's our next one, Chris?
Tommy, take this one. So we got in here Austin's wins in the Royal Rumble, both in 1997, 1998, and 2001. The only man to have won the Rumble 3 times.
Yep.
Tommy, Austin's your boy. He's your guy. Quick recap of his wins, if you.
All I know is the Austin wins. It was always McMahon trying to fuck with him.
Sure.
So he wouldn't get there. I know 01 is where he wins and he goes on and faces The Rock at WrestleMania 17 and with that horrible heel turn.
Yeah.
That happened at the end.
Good match. Bad ending.
Good match. Exactly. But yeah, Austin winning 3 times, the only man to do that.
Sure.
And honestly, I think he'll could go down. Watch, they're gonna fucking make a liar out of me and have Randy Orton win it.
Yeah, there's only a certain amount of guys that have won twice that are kind of, I guess, kind of still eligible to win.
I
And
think
are still
Orton's the
active.
only one right now.
Yeah, Orton, but I mean, again, they could bring anybody back at this point and, you know, have them win. So,
John Cena
could be John Cena. You never know.
Yeah.
But 97, I think, has the notorious thing of Austin getting eliminated, but the refs didn't see it, so he snuck back in. And
yes, yeah.
So like that led into his
Yes.
whole anti-hero persona, which obviously then the star just kept on rising. But Austin's wins made our top 10. AJ Styles debut in 2016. This was actually sentimentally, this was one of the first Rumbles we missed as a group. I believe it was a Blizzard or something like that. So we all ordered it, or we had the network or whatever at that time. And at this point, man, people just didn't debut in WWE. They always went through the NXT, they went through the developmental. And having AJ debut at number 3, standing in the ring face to face with Roman Reigns, another great face-off, and we'll talk about face-offs in a little bit. That was it was insane. The camera work was a little messed up.
Camera work sucked.
Yeah, fuck Kevin Dunn, who also messed up Edge's return in 2020 because like he had to like get some crowd shots, and like he's like, you missed the first spear in a decade.
Kevin Dunn, you suck.
Kevin
He's
Dunn.
Like, they see spears because they got Roman Reigns. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Edge's spears 100 times better.
Yeah, he's a fucking jabroni.
Yeah.
But yeah, AJ Styles debut, awesome debut in like modern Royal Rumble history, made our top 10. Three Faces of Foley, 1998. Tom, tell us about this. You love this concept.
Oh my god, yeah. For some reason, I don't know, it just fucking tickles my fancy.
Sure.
You know, he comes down as Mankind first, gets eliminated, and then all of a sudden, Dude Loves Music gets eliminated, and then he comes down as Cactus Jack is his last one.
Would be the third one, yes.
Yeah, just so fucking funny to see.
Oh
that.
yeah.
I mean, granted, he took 3 spots from 3 people, but I think at that time, like he was like, you know, he's
the
one of the biggest stars.
The roster was a little
lackadaisical
time, but still, like Foley is a huge hand in the locker room. Obviously, had stints as those 3 personas at different points. But yeah, it was a cool moment. I know, Tommy, you're always down to have like Bray Wyatt take 3 spots from somebody or something like that. So it could happen. We don't know that. He's dead, so there's nothing we can do about that. As per recording, who knows what's going on. But Three Faces of Foley, that made our top 10 list. I want to talk about the insanity of the 2000 Royal Rumble. The 2000 Royal Rumble is my favorite event, and we're just really talking about the Royal Rumble matches themselves. This is just peak Attitude Era fucking nonsense. Like one of the first big spots is you have Too Cool doing a dance-off in the ring. And then Rikishi eliminates his tag team partners because there's no friends in the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. As we hear JR say all the time.
Sure. You have Mean Street Posse doing run-ins because their spots got taken out. You have Kai and Tai doing multiple run-ins. And then you got that famous one with Taka Michinoku getting pancaked on his face, like over the top rope. I think King is losing it. And he's always just like, hey, can we go back to that clip real quick? And then they pull it off. It's just fucking stupidity, but I love it so much. That hits me like right like that, like that nostalgia gets me right there.
That's
one of my favorite.
Funny.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite pay-per-view events. Definitely my favorite Royal Rumble all around. The match is just insanity. So that's where we were with the top 10 lists.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now.
Yes.
Chris, talk about the first 4 of 2009.
So the first
I'm drawing a blank.
No problem. The first 4 of 2009, and really we could talk about like the first few competitors in the Royal Rumble matches, which always I think sets a tone. The Royal Rumbles have like this weird like peak and valley thing where they have to start off strong, get the hype up, have some peaks in the middle, and then at the end you really got to have some sort of like something to get like real excited about. So the first 4 in 2009, I think, is my favorite kind of like first group of people. It starts off with Rey Mysterio and John Morrison. And they're doing, high-paced, high-action, flippy shit, back and forth, back and forth. Third person is Carlito, and Carlito doing, again, flippy shit with the best of them, spitting apples in John Morrison's face. Fourth person to come out, MVP. MVP's got that high-octane, high-energy, like technical stuff, fucking knees to faces, quick fucking suplexes and everything like that. And then the Great Khali ruins everything. But I think having like that first, like we talk about like some good first standoffs, some good first and second competitors. You had like Rey Mysterio Jr. and Triple H in the one that Rey Mysterio won. You have even like the members Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack facing off as 1 and 2. The members of Demolition 1 and 2. It's matchups you didn't know you wanted, and then they can kind of like the Rumble teases that shit. And they do that a lot, especially with like the face-offs that we're going to talk about and the endings. So but I like the first 4 of 2009. That made our list. Tommy, some face-offs. We got those on the list.
Hogan Warrior face-off in 1990, as Chris said. At that time, these two are like the biggest names in the company, and they come face to face, in the in the Rumble, and they just like, they go at it. So
first
very cool to see. First time they ever interacted, and
sets up for that Mania as well.
Yes, WrestleMania 6.
Yes, the Ultimate Challenge. Yes,
right.
But other face-offs that we'd like to mention, like little honorable mentions, even 2020 having Keith Lee and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah,
that was fucking dope. There's that one in 2001 where The Rock is like eye to eye with Austin, and obviously they've had history, but like this is like another thing where it's like, oh yes, that's right, here we go. You know what I mean? Like it's always good. It's good shit.
Such good shit
when they do stuff like that. But the Hogan Warrior face-off, I think, was like the first of its kind of just like, two megastars who, for whatever reason, were kept separate, and then they lock eyes, and what's going to happen? And thankfully, we do like the ones where they actually give you some sort of like, lack of a better term, release, and not just like two guys facing off, and then here comes Santino, let those two big stars face off. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm getting.
Yep.
So Hogan Warrior face off in 1990, that made our list, and all their face-offs are great too. And then, like we said, the endings.
Yes,
I think one of our favorite endings has to be Taker Michaels in 2007. Undertaker was on to win this one, but again, we want to talk about in this era of the brand split. Shawn Michaels at the time, a Raw guy, Undertaker, SmackDown guy. The Royal Rumble, it brings all these people together, and these guys are legends. And this is obviously a precursor to their WrestleMania 25 and 26 matches. But watching them just go toe to toe for like, I think almost close to 10 minutes, and just constant, like, Taker sits up, Michaels kips up, like it's just two, forces that you're like, oh my God, like as a WWE fan, you gotta love that stuff.
Absolutely.
And then they gave it to you at Mania a couple years later, twice.
Oh,
but other but other endings that it's cool to get that stuff because you don't know which way it'll go. I remember this one. It had to have been 4 years ago or something like that, where it was almost like you had the final 6, where you had on one side of the ring you had Orton, Cena, and Mysterio, and on the other side of the ring you had Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And it was almost like an old guard, new guard sort of thing.
And that's the one that Nakamura wins, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
But you get matchups like that, and it's like it's can be new and it can be refreshing. We're not talking about the ones where like Big Show and Kane fucking clean house. Just so we can all root for Roman Reigns. We want these like fresh new things, and I mean, but 2020, Drew Mac knocks out Roman Reigns, which was great because people were like, "Oh, it's Roman's year. Here we go again."
Or like the one year where it came down to be Triple H and Dean Ambrose.
Yes, exactly. That's a good
I totally that should be on the list, but I just remembered it now.
You know what? No, you're right. Yeah, but that was a great ending because like Dean did not get his his name in lights yet. He did not become a main event champion yet at that time.
Yep.
And then you got a little taste of it. So.
And then you had my heart attack moment where I thought Santino Marella won.
And Del Rio won. So really,
I lost either way.
Situation. I don't want Santino to win. Okay, here's Del Rio. You know what I mean? So, how about that one where was Roman Reigns going to win, and then Rusev was outside, and everyone's just like, Rusev, you can do it.
Yeah.
So that was the opposite of the Del Rio win. But I mean, either was kind of just a bleh. Anyway.
But yeah, the Rumble is just great. It's
fantastic. Yes,
it is. I mean, this year is going to be very different. Well, figure out how we're going to watch it. Yeah, with the boys. Don't trust.
And we'll talk much more about the Royal Rumble this month. To the event itself, we'll have a Wrestle special. The Rumble is our favorite. The Rumble is our favorite pay-per-view by far.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's that in Survivor Series.
Yes. So we kept you, Nation. Thank you so much for hanging with us. I'm Sherm.
I'm Tom.
We are the RudeBoyz, and this has been the RudeBoyz Top 10.
This has been a presentation of the RudeBoyz Podcast Network.
Oops.